Richard "Ricky" Cowles Jr. was just 21 years old. His life was brutally cut short in August 1997. The scene of the crime was his apartment in California. He was discovered in a horrific state. He had been severely beaten and shot. Though clinging to life initially, he succumbed to his injuries 2 days later. Present at the scene was his 16-year-old girlfriend, Amy Preasmyer. She was pregnant with his child. What initially seemed like a straightforward violent crime would unravel into a complex web of conspiracy. Years later, a re-aired Dateline investigation would revisit the chilling details of this case. Please like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. The initial focus of the investigation quickly landed on William "Billy" Hoffman. He was arrested in connection with the brutal attack. By 1999, Hoffman was convicted of Ricky Cowles' murder. His conviction was built upon several pillars. Key among them were witness testimonies. These accounts suggested Hoffman was involved. Further evidence came from his own admissions. Hoffman allegedly confided in multiple people, claiming responsibility for killing Cowles. He reportedly sought assistance from others. This help was supposedly for disposing of evidence related to the crime. In 2002, years after his conviction, Hoffman sent a letter to Ricky Cowles' parents. In this letter, he confessed to the crime. He detailed using a claw hammer and a gun in the attack. However, the narrative would shift again. Hoffman later indicated a willingness to cooperate. He stated he would testify against Amy Preasmyer. This marked a turning point in the ongoing investigation. As the investigation deepened, a disturbing picture began to emerge. Evidence suggested that Amy Preasmyer had orchestrated the murder. She was not just a witness, she was allegedly the mastermind. Witnesses came forward with damning testimony. They claimed Preasmyer had been actively seeking someone to kill her boyfriend. Her motive, according to these accounts, was deeply personal and disturbing. Preasmyer reportedly blamed Ricky Cowles for her pregnancy. She expressed significant resentment towards him. This resentment escalated into a desire to have him killed. According to the district attorney's office, Preasmyer harbored intense anger. She allegedly believed Cowles had ruined her birthday and, by extension, her life. By August 1997, the month of the murder, she was reportedly desperate. She was actively looking for someone willing to carry out the act. Preasmyer initially denied any involvement in the planning or execution of the crime. However, evidence pointed to her direct participation in bringing the killer to the scene. Preasmyer, along with another individual named Jennifer Kellogg, allegedly brought William Hoffman to the residence. They didn't stop there. They reportedly suggested places for Hoffman to hide. They also discussed methods for committing the murder. William Hoffman's path through the legal system was relatively swift. He was convicted quickly in 1999 based on the evidence available at the time. However, Amy Preasmyer's role was not immediately clear to investigators. Her potential involvement as the orchestrator took time to uncover and build a case around. Years passed before the focus fully shifted. Preasmyer was eventually arrested in 2005. The evidence gathered pointed to her central role in planning the murder. Her trial culminated in 2007. Preasmyer was convicted of orchestrating Ricky Cowles' death. The jury found her guilty of murder. Crucially, the conviction included special circumstances. These circumstances elevated the severity of the crime. They included lying in wait, conspiracy to commit murder, and solicitation of murder. These findings painted a picture of a premeditated, planned killing. In 2008, Amy Preasmyer received her sentence. She was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. This sentence reflected the jury's finding that she was the driving force behind the tragic events. The case was not limited to just Preasmyer and Hoffman. Other individuals were also implicated in the events surrounding Ricky Cowles' death. Jennifer Kellogg was one such person. Kellogg had reportedly been staying with Ricky and Amy at the time of the murder. Her involvement led to legal consequences. Kellogg eventually pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter. Her plea resulted in a significant prison sentence. Jennifer Kellogg was sentenced to 17 years in prison for her role. Another individual, David Ashbury, was also implicated. Ashbury's involvement centered on the murder weapon. He was found to have supplied the pistol used in the attack. Ashbury faced legal repercussions for this action. In 2006, David Ashbury was sentenced to 2 years in prison. The case thus involved multiple individuals, each playing a part in the tragic outcome. Today, Amy Preasmyer remains incarcerated. She is serving her sentence at the Central California Women's Facility. Her time in prison has not been without incident. While incarcerated, she was reportedly falsely accused of sexual assault. Preasmyer has also used her time to reflect and write. She has written about her experiences within the prison system. Meanwhile, William Hoffman's legal fate took a different turn. His initial life sentence was eventually commuted. After serving a significant amount of time, Hoffman was released from prison in 2020. Since his release, Hoffman has reportedly expressed remorse for the crime. He has spoken about the devastating impact of his actions. He now aims to use his experience to educate others. His goal is to warn young people about the severe consequences of violent crime. The murder of Richard "Ricky" Cowles Jr. serves as a stark reminder. It highlights the devastating impact that violence has on victims, families, and perpetrators alike. The case also illustrates the complexities inherent within the justice system. It shows how investigations can evolve, how responsibility can be shared, and how the legal process navigates the intricate web of human actions and motives.